Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and I'm back with another episode of my Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020 playthrough. It's tournament time now. We're in the Big Ten Conference tournament right now with this Penn State team. This is my second season with this team. What is this, like 2024, March of 2024? So this is the grid for the tournament, and I can't imagine us having a better seeding, a better spot. Whether that means anything, whether it means that we'll win, that's to be decided. But we just got a great set of matchups here potentially if we can get through this. Last season, I was an early loser in the Big Ten tournament, lost the first game. But this year, we're going to meet Nebraska the first game, and we beat this team twice in the regular season, and then the winner of this game will go up against Purdue, who is one of the few other teams that we won against in the conference. We only had 7 wins in the conference schedule, so knock on wood, 2 wins would be phenomenal. But we're coming into this thing with a pretty poor record, so just getting 1 win would be would leave me feeling a little bit better about where we're at, because we've definitely taken a step back this season. We were 14-16 overall last year. We're 13-16, I think, right now going into the tournament. So it would be nice if we could make a little run here. Two wins would be as far as I would. I couldn't wish really to go further than that, but. Who knows? At least maybe we'll have a good showing against Nebraska and equal last season's win totals, but we'll see. And this episode, I'm just going to go through this tournament, hopefully move on to the Final Four and go from there and finish out the whole tournament season this episode. So let's go ahead and get it started. I want to move away, though, from the bracket view when I'm simming out this game and go back to the grid view. And we'll go ahead and play it, knock on wood. Yes, we won. So 14-16. That would equal our season record from last year. But I said going into this at the end of last episode, we're going to lose 17 games this year. So it's going to be a worse season regardless. But I feel good about having at least 1 win in the tournament. And, we're playing a pretty down Purdue team from where they have been in this conference in the past. Let me see if I'm getting a scouting report. Now, we were scouted ahead of Nebraska from our coach who does scouting. My guess is Purdue's going to be a pretty big favorite in this one. Oh, they're a huge favorite, 89-11. You can see they have the advantage in point guard, small forward, power forward, and we have no advantages, but we beat them. So if that means anything, I hope it does, then maybe we'll have a chance. But let's go back to that game against Nebraska and see how we played. So that was March 7th, 75-60, our best win against them. And it looks like Jennings had a good game in this one, 18 points. We'll take a look at the box score here. So they made a run in the second half. We just came out and dominated in that first half. They shot 35%, had a good free throw shooting, but it looks like as a team we shot 50%. Good shooting game from us. Pretty decent in 3-pointers. Not so great in free throw percentage, but we went to the line a lot. And it looks like Uche was the player of the game. 12 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Great all-around line for him. We did out-rebound him, 34-29. Good win here for us. Jennings, one of his better games, a plus 20, 18 points, 3 rebounds. Robinson, not much going on. Sandin, 5 rebounds. That's good to see from him, a plus 10. Uche, one of his better games. in a while. I like to see that combo of double-digit points and high assists, so that's good. D'Elia, 9 points. And then off the bench, Parks looked good at center, 8 points plus 5. Pretty good overall play from us, and we really need that kind of play, I'm sure, against Purdue. So let's get going. Let's see if we got some magic in us. And we don't, so that's how we end it. 14-17. I'll take it, but it would have been nice to get that 15th win. And we'll see how that game went, and then we'll finish out the tournament here. So any upsets? Northwestern might be making a run. Maybe Rutgers doing a run. So we lost 67-57 and had a terrible shooting performance, 31%. I mean, that did us in. Defensively, we weren't too bad, but you're not going to win when you shoot that bad. Player of the game, Oliver, 5-star player. Gosh, he's a senior, but what a season. 21 points, 13 rebounds, power forward. Again, I've been saying it the last couple episodes, I know, but this is what we need and we don't have. We can't, for some reason, we can't get those kind of recruits. But Jennings finished okay, 9 points, 3 rebounds. Robinson was really shut down. He's got one more year with us. I hope he develops. He really struggled towards the end of the season. I mean, he finishes at 9.4 points a game, just under 5 rebounds a game, but he scored over 10 for us last year with about the same amount, a minute less time this season. I would have hoped that he would have matched those numbers. Maybe that's what, that's probably the caliber of play I'm going to get from him if he doesn't improve in his ratings. But he was a disappointment this year. And, I don't think Lee is ready to take over the starting job. And he's just got one more season himself. He's a junior. If it flips and he develops some ratings, he might have a chance. He's a transfer in from St. Joseph's, where he looked good as a freshman. But other than that, D'Elia, 16 points, finishes out his Penn State career, 10 points again in average. I mean, I think it was a kind of a downturn from him too, because he got more minutes this year, and I was expecting more from him a little bit too. Didn't carry the team, I think, the way he should have, scoring, and we struggled for it. I know his ratings aren't that great as far as that goes. What is he? Three current, 4 potential. But then Uche, a pretty decent game from him. I like those 3 steals, 11 points. I'm hoping that he'll develop a little bit as well in ratings. He was a disappointment. Just 7 points. I know he's not rated highly in scoring. It might be that Odell deserves the nod here. He's just a sophomore too. It might be a good chance for him to move into that starting job. I might give him at least more minutes because he only got 11 minutes this season, less than he got last year. It might be time to give him more minutes next year so he'll develop and maybe have a good senior season. And then off the bench, bench play was really poor this game, and I think that hurt us. And that's going to do it. I don't foresee us getting any kind of postseason tournaments invites for sure, but we'll finish out the Big Ten. Like I say, I think Northwestern, Indiana, I mean, there might be Rutgers still in there. So how's this going? Let me go back to the bracket view and see if there were some pretty big upsets. And it looks like Indiana over Iowa was pretty big, but Rutgers over Illinois, Northwestern over Michigan, it's pretty surprising there. So we're into the tournament time, so there's going to be a lot of tournaments going on right now. So here we go. Rutgers, man, they are going to be the Cinderella of this tournament for sure. They knock off Minnesota, who I think has got a good chance of going to the Final Four tournament. Northwestern lost big to Michigan State. Indiana lost big, 51 points to Maryland, and then Wisconsin hung on against Purdue. So just taking a look at the standings to see how big that is for Rutgers. I think they were almost to the bottom. They were right at the bottom with Nebraska, just 2 games better than Nebraska. They are definitely the Cinderella of this tournament. I would imagine this is where it ends for them. I can't see them getting further than this, but especially against Michigan State. That would be such a Cinderella team to go into the Final Four tournament as well. And that's where it ends. So it's going to be Michigan State, Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat a really tough Maryland team. I think Maryland probably goes into this tournament, the last I checked the polls, the highest rated team in the Big Ten. But I think Michigan State, they're coming off like 12 or 13 wins in a row now. I think they're the team to beat. Matter of fact, I think they were rated seeded first. If you look at the standings, I believe, they had the best record, of course, and that's why they're seeded first. But they're up to 14 wins in a row right now. So this will be a good matchup. Wisconsin's won 6 in a row, but I feel like Michigan State's probably going to pull this one out. And I may have been wrong. I think I barely, the score flashed up there for just a second, and it may be Wisconsin winning this one, which would end a really big win streak if that's the case. And that's the case. Wisconsin knocks off Michigan, so that's 79-65. Now it's going to be interesting to see what kind of seeding they get out of that. And I've got an alert here. What's this? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move on to the we're going to go ahead and first off put it in the games grid to make sure there's nothing else going on. And it says I can't select it right now, so let's I think there's some more tournaments to get through, and then I'll be able to advance into the Final Four. I usually skip the selection show. It's pretty cool, but we'll probably just go right straight into it. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go advance, and I'll just go ahead and skip it with the escape key for now, and then we'll take a look at the brackets manually. If it'll let me do it. There we go. Now, of course, I hit the wrong button. So this is not going to show me the play-in games, I don't think. But we'll take a look here at the seeds until we get to that point. Or should I just go ahead and do the play-in games real quick? So if I do games grid for everybody, well, it won't let me do that. All right, so I'll just have to sim it until we get to that point. All right, so now the brackets I think should be set. So we'll start with the Buffalo region. Arizona, no surprise, they're number one. I feel like I know I'm back and forth. Yeah, they're still undefeated. So I guess that means they won their tournament. Man, let me just check that out because that would be incredible. It's really rare to get that kind of a run going. If you're basketball or follow basketball, you know. But so they would have been in the Pac-12, I believe, and they ran it. Yeah, they beat Colorado, the 2 seed. Man, they had to win 3 games to get it, and so this might be a chance to have an undefeated team win it all. So they're going to be playing Incarnate Word. You got South Carolina, Iowa State in there, San Diego State, Tennessee Tech, former Ohio Valley Conference team. They've made it now 2 or 3 times since I've been simming. And then Davidson, a pretty high 4 seed against Texas Southern. You got Florida State, Drexel, St. Mary's, Miami, Cincinnati, Iowa. So they're, I think, the first Big Ten team I'm seeing here. West Virginia, Long Beach State. Iowa probably going to be one of the lower seeds to come from the Big Ten. And then the Minneapolis region, you got Florida, number 1, Brown, North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas A&M. Those are some good matchups there. Kansas, 4 seed. They've been really good in this playthrough against Ryder. Wisconsin, 2 seed here. So winning that tournament probably helped them out, but I would have thought they would have had a chance at a 1 seed. So now they're playing Chicago State, Akron, Nevada, Clemson, Louisville, Kentucky against Purdue Fort Wayne. Kentucky, a pretty high seed here. And the Tampa region, we got Villanova, number 1, Michigan State, number 2. But Villanova, Navy, Arizona State, Boston College, Georgetown, a 5 seed against California. Brigham Young wind up a 4 seed against Radford. So Michigan State against Bryant, and Missouri against 10 seed Minnesota. So Minnesota did make it. So I'm counting, I think, 4 teams so far. Minnesota, Michigan State, Purdue made it here against Northern Iowa, Notre Dame, Old Dominion. So Purdue, that run in the tournament probably helped them. And then San Jose region, we got Maryland, a number 1 seed. So they're going to be the top seeded team from the Big Ten, going up against Bradley, Tulsa, Alabama, Dayton, a pretty high 5 seed, Colorado, a 4 seed, Pittsburgh, a 2 seed in this one. You got Stony Brook, a 6 seed, pretty high for them, and then Arkansas, a 3 seed. So the way I'm counting, that's Maryland. Okay, so let me just go back to the Big Ten standings. Michigan State, Maryland. I'm surprised that Maryland's the number 1 seed, but Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois did not make it, but Purdue did. Purdue and then Iowa. Pretty interesting. That's how it went. Illinois had a better regular season, I guess. You gotta respect maybe the RPI. That's probably what got Purdue and Iowa in there. But see, that's what I'm talking about. For us, being in this conference, that's what's great about it is you don't have to win a lot of games to get some good recognition. So hopefully we'll be able to compete next season. But let's go ahead and get it started. So I'm not sure if we'll be playing today or if it's Wednesday. So it's probably going to be one more game or one more day, and we'll probably start with the Buffalo region. And let's go ahead and sim through it. See if we get any upsets. And let's see, it's looking like Arizona easily advance. South Carolina kind of an upset. 8 seed, 9 seed knocks them off. San Diego State barely beat Tennessee Tech. And then Davidson lose, so they lose early. You got a 13 seed. A little bit of a Cinderella there. And then Florida State wins easily over Drexel. Miami knocks off St. Mary's at 10/7, and then Iowa, 11 seed Iowa beats Cincinnati by 1, so that's an upset, and then West Virginia easy over Long Beach State. And then the Minneapolis region, you got Florida, number 1 seed, easily advancing. North Carolina over Tennessee, Texas over Texas A&M, Kansas, a close one, 103-98 against Rider. Did that go to OT, I'm wondering? It did. Wow, that was a game right there. 103-98 in overtime. But I'm not seeing too many upsets yet until you get down here. Look at that. But anyway, Wisconsin easily over Chicago State. Akron beats Nevada. Louisville upset over Clemson. And then this one, biggest upset so far in this tournament. 14 seed Purdue Fort Wayne knocks off Kentucky, a 3 seed. So now we're going to probably do Tampa and San Jose. I love to see those upsets. That's probably one of my most favorite things about the Final Four tournament. So we're going Tampa region, Villanova, easily over Navy. Boston College, a 2-point win over Arizona State, a 9 seed over 8. Georgetown knocked off by California, 12 seed over 5. And then Brigham Young, easy win over Radford. And then Michigan State, 20-point win for them. Missouri beats Minnesota. And then Purdue, their magic continues. 82-58 over Northern Iowa. And then Notre Dame went over Old Dominion. So the Big Ten, for the most part, looking pretty good. You take that Minnesota out of the equation. And then San Jose region, Maryland easily 73-48 over Bradley. Tulsa advances. North Carolina Central, a big win, upset over Dayton. Colorado, an easy win. I think, just from what I'm seeing here, the Pac-12 is pretty tough in this season, in this playthrough. So you got Pittsburgh, 2 seed, easy win. North Carolina State, no upsets here. So Arkansas advances, Stony Brook advances over Wyoming. So now we're going into what do they call the 32? This is to get us to the Sweet 16, though. So let's go ahead and play these games out. Kansas, see that they're advancing already against Texas. Pretty good matchup there. Kansas has always done well in this playthrough. Seems like they're always getting through the tournament, pretty deep into the tournament, always seeded pretty high. All right, so first off, Arizona continues, but man, it was a tough one. 84-78 over Iowa State. San Diego State in there, 75-56 over Texas Southern. Florida State beats Miami. And West Virginia knocks off Iowa, so Iowa out of there. So you got a 1, 2, 3, 5 coming out of this region to get to the Elite 8. So that's pretty good. In Minneapolis region, you got Florida upset, losing to number 1 seed, losing to number 8 seed North Carolina. So Kansas beat Texas. Wisconsin loses to Akron. And Louisville beats Purdue Fort Wayne. You gotta think they just got lucky there, right? They're meeting a team that just probably shouldn't have made it that far. So far, though, Akron to me might be the Cinderella, at least into the Sweet 16. Let me see what they were ranked 23rd in the country, and I'm gonna look at how well they are. Let me see. I think you can do it. I thought you could do it by. Yep, Akron, Zips. What conference are they in? Mid-America Conference. I mean, they're coming off. They're in a 16-game win streak. I mean, it's I guess a decent conference. It's probably comparable to the OVC from last year, but boy, I did not expect that team to make it. So hats off to them. Let's get back to the tournament now. So let's go to the Tampa region and see what's going to happen here. Another big upset already. I'm seeing North Carolina Central. But here we go. Villanova, number 1 seed, stays in there against Boston College. And then Brigham Young, big win against California. And then, this seed, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4. This region did, I guess the seeding was correct. Michigan State beats Missouri. And Purdue, their Cinderella season's over, but a good run from them. And then San Jose, we got a couple surprises here. Maryland easily advances, but North Carolina Central knocks off Colorado. And then North Carolina State beat 2 seed Pittsburgh, and then Arkansas easily wins against Stony Brook. So recapping for the Sweet 16, you got Buffalo, you got a 1, 2, 3, 5, pretty standard final right there. And Minneapolis, you got Akron. To me, is North Carolina. I mean, they're just such a their franchise, if you want to call it a franchise, but their history is just so good. That's not too big of a shocker. But seeing Akron in the Sweet 16 to me is pretty surprising. And then Louisville. So that's where most of the upsets are coming from. And then San Jose, you got really, though, the lowest seed is this NC Central team. So that they could be the biggest Cinderella story. But in terms of the Big Ten, we got Maryland still in it. We got Michigan State still in it. And Wisconsin, they went out against Akron. So we've only got those 2 teams from the Big Ten in there. And before I move any further, and this is something that I said I was going to do when we get to this time period, but I'm going to jump back into recruiting because I want to see if I can get this guy right here, Peter Peterson, interested because we're in the contact period. So facilities and location are important to both he and his parents. I'm going to pitch him on facilities and academics because I know we're not going to get him in location. So let's see what happens if I visit him and I'm going to pitch facilities. And it's going to cost a lot because he's out of state. But I want to do that, and I want to see if there's anyone interested. Now these are the only ones interested. So let me see the full recruit list under shooting guards. If there's anybody in Pennsylvania, for instance, who are still out there, I don't see them. Or even New Jersey, that might be a possibility. No, he's not even on the list, it looks like. A pretty poor year for shooting guards. But let me take a look at point guard. See if we got anybody interested there. We got Eddie Jennings, kind of interested, but his GPA is suspect. And then we've got Danny Grant. He's really interested, but he's not that good. So he has visited us. Conference prestige is huge. I may go ahead and give this guy he made a 900 on the SAT. I think that's the cutoff, but I'm not 100% sure. Does that give us any indication here? No. Man, we got some other guys here who are really interested. So I'm visiting Peter Peterson. you know, I don't really want to spend too much time on another power forward, even though Tom Glover, his GPA really scared me, is what got me off him. So I don't want to go visit him right now, but so we got these two committed. Let me just take one more look at shooting guards and see if I need to if it would be worthwhile visiting one of these guys. I mean, he's gone down. He's not even on my call list. I mean, I think he would make it with that SET score. Let me see if I can just add him real quick and give him a call and see if I can get some interest. Nope. He won't do it. All right, so let's just back to the call and watch list. He's got some interest, but you know, location is a big factor for this guy. You know what? I might as well go visit him because, and see if maybe conference prestige or academics will make a. And it's going to cost a lot, but I don't want to be left out in the cold. So now let's go ahead and move through these games. And I also, if we got time, I may look at some of the other postseason tournaments. But for now, let's go ahead and start off. So first round is probably going to be in Buffalo. Yep. Arizona easily over San Diego State, 79-69. So they're going to be playing West Virginia, who knocked off number 2 Florida State. Arizona, like I'm saying, I mean, they are 3 wins away from an undefeated season. And then in the Minneapolis region, you got Kansas beats North Carolina. Louisville ends Akron's run, so pretty decent matchup there. Now we move to Tampa. Arkansas is in there. Arkansas was in the Final Four a few seasons ago in this playthrough, so they've had a good run here. And Tampa, you got Villanova knocked off by Brigham Young. Man, every time I looked at the scores and saw them up there, they had a tremendous year. I think just maybe 2 losses. So they're going to be in the Elite Eight playing Michigan State, who easily won against Notre Dame. So you got Michigan State might be Maryland. Maryland and Michigan State are still in there. Maryland, a huge win over North Carolina Central. And then Arkansas easily beats North Carolina State. So now we got the Elite Eight decided. This is going to take us to the Final Four. You got Kansas in there again. I think they have been in at least one Final Four in the playthrough I've been running here. And we got a few emails I'll have to look at. So Arizona continues. So they're going to be in the Final Four as an undefeated team. I don't know if this shows me their record. Let's see. No, it doesn't show it, but I think they're nearing 40. Yeah, they're nearing 40 wins. And Brigham Young had 3 losses. So 39-0. That's incredible. All right, so what else we got? We got West Virginia knocks off Florida State, so a 1-3 seed there. That's pretty good. And they just kind of obliterated them. really. I was looking at. I forgot that we already looked at that game, but that was a good win, convincing win. And then Minneapolis, another convincing win. Kansas 20 points over Louisville. So now Brigham Young and Michigan State. How's that going to? I think Michigan State's out. Maryland's in. No, Michigan State prevailed 86-83 over Brigham Young. So there's going to be two Big Ten teams in the Final Four with Maryland winning. That's what I'm talking about with prestige. This conference is huge right now. So let's take a look at some of the inbox. My decision. Oh, there we go. Peter Peterson. He's going to sign, or gives us a verbal, I guess, at this point. And that's the recruiting. I mean, that's pretty much the guys that I planned on getting. I know this has kind of bitten me in previous seasons, but I think that's about the best I could hope for with the way it was going. And you just if you were following along there on the shooting guard list, there were very few shooting guards, really high-class shooting guards in that local area who were available. I hope that sooner or later, we get some prestige going so that I can go outside that region. That would be great. But let's go to the Final Four. This is going to be pretty good this year. So we know it depends on the matchup. We could have two Big Ten teams playing for either the title or the Final Four. Okay, it's going to be next. Okay, we'll have to go further ahead here. I'm sorry. And some other tournaments going on. We may take a look at those. And I think it's going to be a Saturday game, right? Usually it is. Yep, here we go. It's going to be Arizona, Kansas, Michigan State, Maryland. So it's not going to be an all Big Ten final, but one of those teams, it's going to be at least one Big Ten team playing for the national title. And it's going to be Maryland. Close game, but they knock off Michigan State. Michigan State had that huge winning streak, but Maryland, I guess the seedings were right. I mean, they're going to be the best team out of the Big Ten, and we'll go. It should show me here. It's going to be Arizona. Arizona 40 wins now for the season, easily beat Kansas. Man, who is on this Arizona team? I just, before I get to that point, I want to build it up a little bit. Who is, I was looking at the dashboard, who is on that team? I can't even see the ratings. I guess because, and why is that, actually? Okay, so, I wonder why I can't see their ratings. Wow, that's weird. Why am I not able to see their ratings? Let me look at my staff. It's looking at I mean, I was assuming that I could. I'm not sure why I can't see. And I guess, I'm looking at my staff because I'm wondering if... No, that doesn't make sense. I was wondering if I had a coach who's no longer under contract, but that doesn't make sense. So... That's kind of weird to me. I thought you could see just about any team, but maybe it's only teams that you've played against. Maybe that's the deal. Like Conference USA, just a random team. Yeah, I'm only seeing the overall. All right, well that's something I have to play around with. I guess maybe there's something here I didn't realize, because if I go into, I'll tell you what, let me do it another way, because I'm really interested in this right now. So I'm going to go back to the Big Ten, find my school here. So let me just take a look at the box score, because I think the box score will give you a look at the players from there. So if I just looked at Arizona's, it's just, that is so bizarre. I mean, maybe it's not bizarre. Maybe it's just that, I haven't scouted them because I haven't played them, which I guess would make sense. Okay, well, we'll have to move on from that, but it's kind of curious. So we've got Arizona and Maryland, both number 1 seeds, playing for the national title. And Maryland knocks them off. How pitiful is that? It reminds me of a long time ago, UNLV, who had that great undefeated run, went to the tournament and lost early. Maryland prevails, knocks off Arizona. So I guess that shows you even more how tough this Big Ten is. We had 2 teams in the Final Four, and it was Maryland who wins it. Unbelievable. So that's incredible. And so they're going to have the award winners announced. But I want to go back and look at how some of the other postseason tournaments went. So if we were to look at the NIT, for instance, you had Butler looking pretty good there. I mean, is this the finals? Yeah, so Tennessee State, a team in the Ohio Valley Conference, made it all the way to the final of the NIT. Pretty good showing from them. And then, let's see what other tournaments we have here. I think it's listed as WOL and CHI, but CHI, Vanderbilt lost to UCLA. I'm not seeing any Big Ten teams here, right? And this is a smaller tournament, although UCLA is a pretty good team. And then the WOL tournament, I'm not seeing any other teams from the Big Ten here, it looks like, which is what I'm primarily looking for at this point. But in the finals, you had Portland State losing to Virginia in that one. The AAC tournament, I think that's some kind of preseason thing, I guess. So for the NIT, let me take a look at who made it here. Just to see, I'm curious if there were any Big Ten teams in some of these other tournaments. And so far, I'm seeing some pretty decent teams. Of course, in the NIT, that's probably the next to the Final Four. That's going to be the more prestigious tournament. But I don't see any other Big Ten teams. So, for what it's worth, only the teams who made it to the Final Four are the ones who made it into any kind of postseason tournament. So now we're going to the awards, and we'll see. I think that center from Wisconsin that I know is 5-star center, I think that guy's got a chance of being, freshman of the year. You just had a monster season. This may take a while. Sorry, that I didn't realize how long it would take to get to this point. But after this will wrap up the episode, and I'll just go through the off season and probably come back sometime. Maybe next episode will be into the recruiting process a little bit, setting my depth charts and rosters and getting ready for the start of the season, or I may just go all the way into the season. We'll see how far I get with it. I advanced. Oh my gosh. So unfortunately, I went ahead and advanced. So now we're at the coaching jobs available. So I didn't see the awards. I don't know if I can see them here. No, I don't think I can. All right. Well, that was a big screw up, I guess, on my part, because now we're going to be at the head coaching selection, but I won't go through that with you, but I will take a look at how we're doing in terms of job security, and it's where I figured it was going to be. Whoa, 20%. So next year is literally do or die, and I don't think the prestige and all those things are going to change yet because I haven't moved into the next season. But our prestige is 2, and I think we may have been at 2.5 when I took him on. Not a whole lot I can say about that, but this is going to be it. I mean, finish above 500. I think if we probably meet 1 or maybe 2 of those 4 goals, I might be able to keep my job. But I don't see us. Now, but the thing about that is, I think if you finish in top half of conference, surely we'd have a chance at the NIT. But that was one of the reasons I was looking at so hard at the teams that made it, is because I know that's one of our goals. So I'm hoping that you finish above 500, you would make it. But hey, we had some teams here who didn't finish, or who did finish above 500, like Illinois. I didn't see them in any postseason tournaments. So it could be all or nothing. So that's what I'm up against. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this. One more season might be all like that in me, but we'll see. I'll get through some of this off-season stuff, and I will get ready for next year. And appreciate you watching. See you next episode.